This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Good morning. Another deadly day in New Providence. A man shot dead and killed in Fox Hill. The family claims Oral Roberts was recently questioned by police. And a woman killed, a victim of apparent domestic violence. Plus, 50% energy cost cut in 2 years. Is it possible? It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
It's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Wednesday, July 31st, 2024. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Chester Robards will be joining us. Also this morning, we'll be talking about Dairy Queen's DQ Miracle Treat Day that's coming up. And in business, we're talking with BAIC about their 50 Acts of Love and Service staff initiative. Get all the details. That's all ahead, but first it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while you were sleeping and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, police investigating the country's latest murders. Just last evening, police say they were alerted via ShotSpotter of a shooting on Woodpecker Street around 6:30 p.m. Relatives have identified the victim as Oral Roberts. During that time, around 6:30 p.m., they had officers who were on the road conducting an operation not far from the scene, and that's how officers arrived at the point and found the lifeless body of a man. Police say that the man is known to police and was wearing an electronic monitoring device. Roberts' mother, though, claiming that the men who shot her son were riding in a blue vehicle that had government license plates. Police unable to verify that information. The victim last week in relation to an investigation involving the Criminal Investigation Department. Earlier this month, chiefs agreed to go on garden leave as a select team headed by security intelligence branch officials investigates voice notes that purportedly captured separate conversations between a wanted man and two others. Roberts' mother saying, quote, "They lock up my child. My child was in court from November, and the police have yet to present a volunteer to say what y'all lock up my child for." You can read more about the story in today's Nassau Guardian. Earlier in the day, police called to another scene, a woman found dead inside a residence off Homestead Street in what police believe was domestic violence related. At that scene, an emotional Viola Richardson identified the victim as her sister, 43-year-old Teresa Knowles. Police say they received a call around 11:30 a.m. from a man who requested an ambulance and police assistance at the home. First responders found the woman with multiple injuries to the upper body. Police took into custody a man believed to be related to the woman. URCA, the Utilities Regulation and Competition Authority's report outlined the audit of the performance and organizational maturity of BPL, finding that the power company's fuel costs are generally high because of the existing monopoly on fuel supply enjoyed by Shell, with the Shell licensee responsible for fuel delivery for the Family Islands. URCA's report adds that in terms of cost, BPL often runs its rental Agreco units as base load, which are more expensive to run than BPL's own engines. The audit contends that BPL does not have a least cost generation and system plan in place, though the report claims that there are opportunities for the power company to reduce the generational costs. Meanwhile, the government's plan to restructure operations of BPL could cut energy costs in half years. That's according to CFAL President Anthony Ferguson, a director of Bahamas. He says that one way to begin to grow the economy in a sustainable way is by reducing the cost of doing business in the country. He said electricity is one of the major challenges, he says, based on everything that's been pronounced. If all goes according to plan, they'll be able to reduce energy costs by as much as half in the next 24 months. Silver Airways has canceled flights to South Bimini through August 2nd due to an aged fire truck that experienced a mechanical issue, in spite of proactive preventative maintenance. The Ministry of Tourism, Investments and Aviation says that the airport authority immediately began an urgent sourcing for the replacement mechanical part, which has been secured, and that mechanics from the airport authority are expected to arrive in Bimini today. The repairs are expected to be completed by Thursday. The Court of Appeal ordering the release of a former murder convict, convicted of the murder of American sailor Kyle Bruner and the armed robbery of two of Bruner's female companions. In May 2018, another man snatched the woman's purses as they walked along East Bay Street. As they were running away, Bruner got into a scuffle with another man, Craig Johnson, who fatally shot him. Bastien, though, was unarmed and was convicted of armed robbery and murder. Prosecution alleged that he was part of a joint enterprise, as they knew that Johnson had the gun when the plan was hatched to snatch the purses. Last month, the Privy Council quashed Bastien's armed robbery, replaced it with robbery. His murder conviction was overturned as well. The cases were sent back to the Court of Appeal for the panel to determine the appropriate sentence for the robbery conviction and whether Bastien should be tried for manslaughter. Yesterday, the Court of Appeal ordered Bastien's release after sentencing him to 8 years and 17 days for robbery. Bastien served his sentence. Bastien will not be retried for manslaughter. Overseas, Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh killed by a pre-dawn airstrike in the Iranian capital today. Iran and the militant group blaming Israel for a shock assassination that risks escalating the conflict, even as the U.S. tried to prevent an all-out regional war. Iran's supreme leader vowed revenge against Israel. There was no immediate comment from Israel, which has pledged to kill Haniyeh and other Hamas leaders over the group's October 7th attack on southern Israel, in which the Palestinian militant group killed 1,200 people and took 250 others hostage. Struck just after Haniyeh had attended the inauguration of Iran's new president in Tehran, and only hours after Israel targeted a top commander in Iran's ally Hezbollah in the Lebanese capital Beirut. The dramatic assassination of Hamas's top political leader threatened to reverberate throughout the region's intertwined conflicts. Most explosively, the strike in Tehran could push Iran and Israel into direct conflict, if Iran retaliates. Bitter regional rivals Iran and Israel risked plunging into war earlier this year when Israel hit Iran's embassy in Damascus in April. Iran retaliated and Israel countered in an unprecedented exchange of strikes on each other's soil, but international efforts succeeded in Mexico before it spun out of control. And the Carter Center says it's unable to verify the results of Venezuela's presidential election, blaming authorities for a complete lack of transparency in declaring Nicolas Maduro without providing any additional or individual polling tallies. The statement Tuesday night by the Atlanta-based group is perhaps the harshest rebuke yet of Venezuela's chaotic election process, because it becomes from one of just a handful of outside groups invited by the Maduro government to observe the vote. The Carter Center's harsh criticism capped a second long day of protests against the results by opponents of Maduro, who said their candidate, Edmundo Gonzalez, trounced the incumbent by more than a margin of 2-1. Maduro's government hasn't taken lightly to the criticism and ratcheted up their attacks on the opponents Tuesday, with some allies suggesting the opposition most influential leader and a presidential candidate should be arrested. And Joaquin Guzman Lopez, the son of notorious drug kingpin El Chapo, pleaded not guilty to drug trafficking and other charges days after an astonishing capture in the U.S. Guzman Lopez, dressed in an orange jumpsuit, stood with feet shackled as federal prosecutors in Chicago detailed a 5-count indictment that also includes money laundering, conspiracy, and weapons charges. He declined a Spanish interpreter and answered most of the U.S. District Judge Sharon Coleman's questions designed to assess his health and determine whether he understood the proceedings with a simple "Yes, Your Honor." Guzman Lopez and Ismael El Mayo Zambada, a longtime leader of Mexico's Sinaloa cartel, were arrested by U.S. authorities in the El Paso, Texas area last week. Both men, who face multiple charges in the U.S., oversaw the trafficking of tens of thousands of pounds of drugs into the United States, along with related violence, according to the FBI. In sports, the melee between the Bahamas Olympic Committee and the B3As, the Bahamas Association of Athletics Associations, in relation to team selection for the 2024 Paris Olympics, being called just the tip of the iceberg in terms of the challenges faced by the BOC each Olympic period. That's according to BOC Vice President Roy Colebrook. From the organization of Olympic team gear, logistics involving team travel, funding through Olympic Solidarity grants, and the overall management of teams for multi-events games, there's always some hurdle that they must overcome. This year, the Bahamas, with a team of 20 athletes, comes under the direct purview and responsibility of the BOC. For the 7th time in the last 8 Olympiads, the Bahamas has fielded a team of 20 or more athletes. But Colebrook says that every Olympic Games has their challenges. You can read about it in today's Guardian Sports section. And Jazz Chisholm had 5 RBIs in his second straight 2-homer game. Chisholm had an RBI grounder in the first, a solo homer in the 6th off Aaron Nola, and a 3-run homer in the 7th against Matt Strahm that put the Yankees ahead 5-4. The Yankees able to outlast the Philadelphia Phillies 7-6 Tuesday night for their first 4-game winning streak since early June. Chisholm has homered twice in 2 of 3 games with the Yankees after having 3 multi-homer performances in 405 games with Miami, which traded him last weekend. Yankees manager Aaron Boone said of Chisholm, quote, "I can tell you he's having fun playing the game. I can tell you he enjoys the environment, the stage, the arena, and the action. He's embraced us, and everyone in that room has embraced him." Go Jazz. That's sports. And that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. Your first look at weather brought to you by Easy Car Sales. We've got a surface trough near the northern Bahamas that continues to lift northwards while supporting pockets of showers over portions of the northern islands. Meanwhile, high pressure continues to produce moderate to locally fresh winds across the country. A heat advisory, another one in effect for today, and the public's being advised to remain hydrated, wear loose-fitting clothing, sunscreen, take frequent breaks, or avoid sun exposure. Boaters also being advised that there's a threat for waterspout activity. Beachgoers in the southeast Bahamas should be alert for rip currents along east coast beaches. For all areas today, forecast calls for variably cloudy, hot, and breezy conditions with passing showers and the chance of afternoon thunderstorms. Mostly fair and warm conditions expected tonight. Gusty winds, higher seas, and reduced visibility expected in showers and thunderstorms. Small craft caution in effect across the southeast Bahamas. Wind southeasterly at 10 to 15 knots across the northwestern islands, east to southeast at 15 knots in the central islands, but 15 to 20 knots in the southeast Bahamas. Seas 2 to 4 feet in the northwestern islands, 3 to 5 feet across the central islands, 4 to 6 feet in the southeast Bahamas. Temperatures today getting up to 91 Fahrenheit, 33. Index will likely make that feel a lot warmer than that. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 80 Fahrenheit, 27 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have an extended outlook and a look at the tropics. Again, we need to pay attention to that wave in the Atlantic. We'll tell you more about that in our next weather check. This weather check brought to you by Easy Car Sales. No gas, no fumes, no stress. We love our EV. We are Generation E. Join us. Visit IamGenerationE.com. It is time for a break, but when we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9, your home for fresh news and smart talk all day.
"51 years of Bahamian pride, a vibrant rhythm, a symphony of resilience. We've grown from bankers to neighbors to friends. Together, we build a future as bright as our sun. I am 242. You are 242. We are 242. Scotiabank is proud to be Bahamian.
When you think of automobile replacement parts, superior lubricants, and accessories and chemicals of all kinds, still think Bay Street Garage Limited. For almost a century, we've been synonymous with wholesale and retail sales, free delivery to the boats for our Family Island customers, and for alternator and starter repair. Bay Street Garage Limited, BSG. Open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekdays and 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays.
Ready to save? You can put $100 into the CFAL Savings Express Plan and make sure your money keeps growing. Earn interest on your savings while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit cfal.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
Living with a neurological condition shouldn't define you. At Cleveland Clinic in Florida, we do whatever it takes to make life better today while discovering new treatments for a brighter tomorrow. From epilepsy management to specialized spine care and brain tumor surgery, we're delivering world-class neurology care for the day-to-day, for the days you live for every care in the world. Visit clevelandclinicflorida.org/Caribbean.
Looking to elevate your gadget game or a tech trouble simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Caves Village, or call 396-1100.
Do you have uncontrollable debt? Are you ready to make that move to Fidelity for a stress-free future? These loans have a built-in savings plan that pays you unbeatable interest. Ask about our debt consolidation loans today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. 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 Wake up, wake up.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas, Channel 969, and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line, powered by BTC, 422-4796. Standard text rate supply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me now, Chester Robards. Chester Robards, good morning.
Good morning.
Great to have you with us.
Glad to be here.
It's the final day of July 2024. It is unbelievable that we are 7 months through the year. It is crazy, but here we are.
No
Here
doubt.
we are. Back to school talk will be in earnest now, and then it's only a matter of time. Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Coming up today, we're going to be getting details about DQ Miracle Treat Day, which is coming up. And then later in business, we're talking with BAIC. They've got always got a lot going on. We'll talk about their 50 Acts of Love and Service staff initiative and a whole lot more in business this morning. That's all ahead, but right now let's get into what's in the news. And in the news, there's a lot of information about BPL today from URCA and a report, but also from what Bahamas Grid a director of Bahamas Grid is saying.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get into that a little bit later in the show in business, perhaps. Hearing more from everybody but the folks directly in the government about BPL. And that's not surprising, is it? But, of course, the big story is the chaos on the streets of New Providence. It's just death and murder everywhere you turn all the time. And it's insane. And we've got it on all sides, domestic incidents, perhaps not domestic incidents, who knows what else, but it's happening. And it's so sad because this is like any other day. Any other day now around here. So we had 2 murders yesterday. One in the morning, a woman killed, apparently the victim of a domestic incident. And then a man later in the day with seemingly a very interesting past. So let's begin with what happened last evening. Our Vonique Toot has the story.
The mother of a man shot and killed in Fox Hill on Tuesday night claims he was questioned by police last week in connection with an investigation into voice notes that led to Criminal Investigation Department Chief Michael Johnson taking garden leave.
When y'all lock him up, y'all ain't find him with nothing. Why y'all pick up my child, carry him to police headquarters in the church park, and then they can turn around and tell him if any police car stop you when you pass it, don't stop. What you pick up my child for is to question him with Michael Johnson?
What's your son's full name?
His name is Aaron Roberts, and my child was not known to no police. They lock up my child. My child was in court from November. The police yet to present a voluntary bill of indictment to say what y'all lock up my child for.
Ms. Roberts sat on the side of a crowded street in Fox Hill with tears in her eyes as she recalled hearing the sounds of gunshots being fired outside of her home Tuesday. She ran outside to see her son, Oral Roberts, lying in the street. Assistant Commissioner of Police Roger Thompson said officers were alerted by ShotSpotter technology to the shooting incident on Woodpecker Street around 6:30 p.m.
During this period of time, we already had officers who were on the road conducting operation, not too far from the scene. As a result of the alert, those officers came to this particular area where they saw a male who appeared to be lifeless and who also, from information received, is in his about early 30s. The male is known to us, and I am able to say that he was fitted with an EMD.
Residents claim the man who shot and killed the 34-year-old father of one were riding in a blue vehicle that had government license plates.
Why is it the children run and say the boys that who jump in the car had on police boots? Everybody see it.
However, Thompson said he was unable to verify that information.
I am unable to verify any information at this stage. As is indicated, an investigation will have to be conducted, and as soon as we have the result of the investigation, the public will be informed.
Earlier this month, Chief Superintendent Johnson agreed to go on garden leave as a select team, headed by the Security and Intelligence Branch, investigates voice notes that purportedly captured separate conversations between a wanted man who identified himself as Mikey and 2 others. Robert's distraught parents say a week after he was questioned on the matter, he ended up dead.
He begged his lawyer to take the ankle braces off his foot. And they keep dragging him to court, And the police yet to present a voluntary bill of indictment to say what y'all have ankle braces on his foot for.
Mrs. Roberts said she was at home with her son moments before he was killed, and he was excited about celebrating his only son's birthday today.
Miss, I just sit on the porch today, and my child, his only son's birthday is tomorrow. He was just telling me, he said, Mommy, I can put something up on Facebook with Tay. Me and him sit on the porch. He gone and he buy me a Subway sandwich. He came back and me and him was sitting on the porch eating some mixed nuts. And when I hear the gunshot, I run down. I said, Oral, you hear them gunshot? When I come out, Oral in the road dead. What the police pick up my child for last week, carry him to headquarters, and then go turn around and tell him if a police car stop him or any police car stop him, don't stop.
Officer in charge of the Fox Hill Police Station, Superintendent Mario Sweeting, says Roberts was required to check in at that police station weekly, and he had last reported to the station last week. In light of several homicides reported in the Fox Hill area in recent weeks, Thompson vowed that residents will see increased police presence in the area.
When this incident occurred, just a few streets right away, you had officers who was on the ground conducting operation at the very moment when this occurred. And those officers, unfortunately, they were not able to get here to catch the car.
All right, sounds like that's playing again. But hey, funny toot with that report there. Just a chaotic scene.
Very much so.
Wild. And so, boy.
More.
I don't even know where to begin with this.
More my good child stuff going on there.
Lots of serious allegations there. The mother says he wasn't known to police. Police were saying something totally different. Says he was dropped off in a car with government plates. But of course, everybody's reporting.
He wasn't known to police, but he had an ankle monitoring device.
See what's happening here. Maybe we're not all on the same page with the definitions. And I'm sure she used an incorrect legal term there as well. But and then this is in the headline in the Tribune that he is a third suspect in that heist, that infamous heist that the so-called whistleblower was talking about. So it's just a whole, very complicated lives, very, very much so.
On this very tiny
very
island,
small rock.
I swear.
Just
it really baffles me.
The Netflix writers are like, this is, my head is hurting. Okay. Wow. And if you saw the videos, there were children around, there were young people, just everybody around, and just seeing this. This is the reality for so many people every day. And as we've mentioned before, there's little talk about counseling after all of this. So you've seen a lot. This is not normal to see this.
Yeah.
And you just expected to go on with your life. And you expected to go to sleep and carry on as if everything's fine.
Yeah.
It's impossible. It's impossible. Watching some movies can affect you permanently. We've got to do better when it comes to these scenes and just expressing to people that a quieter, simpler life is quite all right. How do you get that message across? I don't know.
No.
I don't want to sound like I'm already judging people. I'm just saying there's a pattern in all of these things.
Some people's circumstances don't allow for a quiet, simple life.
Sure. And some people seek it out.
Yeah.
The madness and chaos.
Yeah. Thrive on it.
Wow. All right. So that was in the evening, earlier in the day. More heartbreak and another tragic scene. For more on what happened in the morning, take a listen to this report from our Jared Higgs.
My husband said to me, he said, "Well, not good. Not good." I said, "I can't say nothing." I say, "They must know what they're doing."
Screams rang out on Homestead Street after a suspected domestic dispute left the 43-year-old mother dead. Officer in charge of the Grove Police Station, Chief Superintendent Dwight Smith, said a man called police to Homestead Street at around 11:30 a.m., saying an ambulance and police were needed.
On the arrival there, they met a female who appeared had some injuries to the upper body. On the EMS made a vital sign check of the female and find that she was unresponsive. At this time, police then we requested the assistance of our investigators to come in. And we spoke to a male who may be a relative of the lady, and he is assisting police at this particular time.
The victim's sister, 65-year-old Viola Richardson, told reporters on scene that the victim is 43-year-old Teresa Knowles. Police wouldn't elaborate on what Knowles' injuries were. Richardson was distraught as she described her sister's relationship with her on-again, off-again boyfriend of 21 years.
She was trying to get out of the relationship. When I look, all of a sudden I see them two tying together again. Tying together. I said, oh, Jesus. I said, I don't know.
Richardson said persons close to her sister knew something was wrong when she didn't show up for work.
This morning I got up, phone call. The lady from where she worked said it ain't like her not coming to work and not calling. Said she always call whatever the circumstances is. I said, I'm gonna look. We done been up and down. When we came through here, I saw the car, I saw the truck. I said, Jesus.
Assistant Commissioner of Police Chaswell Hanna urged members of the public having challenges in their relationship to seek help.
In the event that this is a domestic matter, we want to take this opportunity to let members of the public know that, in relationships, I don't think there's any relationships out there that is void of challenges or issues from time to time. But we want to encourage members of the public, if you are having challenges with your relationships, to seek help. We have the crisis center. The commissioner and the police force is going to be launching a domestic violence center very soon, where you will have a number of resources that you can access, members of the public can access, who may be experiencing challenges with domestic violence.
Reporting for the Guardian News Network, I'm Jared Higgs.
Wow. Horrible situation there.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go again. I know this is going to always end in the same way, it seems, but let's get your reaction to this. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, toll free 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us 422-4796. Who are we going to blame for this? Which outside force are we going to blame for this today?
And also to kind of pull that other story that you read into this, now there's going to be precedents, and I think the first ruling was right, in my opinion. But now the Privy Council's ruled that if you are involved with somebody who in a crime, who commits a murder, you're more likely to be charged with manslaughter and not a part of the murder.
You agree with what the Privy Council said?
No, I agree with what the court did in the first instance.
Right.
First of all,
absolutely.
Our rulings are already a slap on the wrist.
And for him to get off now, this is because of time served.
Right.
This is, you're right. I think this is going to be very serious implications.
Because I think in some, I have to say, in some states and in some cases, if you are a part of...
you're concerned together.
You're concerned, right. Well, that's what we say. But if you're a part of this conspiracy and a murder happens...
All of you go.
All of you go for murder.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
You knew if you have a gun, someone could get killed.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, what you got it for.
Right.
So... But again, now this Privy Council ruling would set a precedence that if somebody, again, if it happens again, the second person may not have been the shooter, but is going to get a slap on the wrist.
There's a case at the moment with a driver. I don't know if it's wrapped up yet, but a driver arguing something similar. He was just the driver.
Right.
Boy. Yeah. Okay, let's go to the phone lines. We'll get your text messages. Let's talk about the state of our country at this time. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning to both of you on these sad occasions.
Hi, good morning.
We're all searching for answers, and I guess the search will be continuous. I am wondering, though, ordinarily someone may not do something if they don't have a stimulant in them or depressant in them. They ordinarily would probably just brush it off. Has the pathologist released any reports on the persons who have done some of these things, whether they were under any influence?
I'm not sure.
I mean that's probably something we could look at, because I do know that if I drink, I'm not the same person anymore. I get a little calmer, But even though I'm calm, if you piss me off, that calmness turns into something else. So, maybe we need to look at the stuff we're legalizing for citizenry to use because we are irresponsible in usage.
Well, they could be under, if you go by this, they could be under something that is not legal as well. But I suspect people have known that many of the people who get themselves into these situations were likely going to end up in situations like this from the time they were children.
Oh, boy.
So, and again, the reason why somebody uses a substance is what needs to be looked at.
Yes,
right?
yes.
And that you had these issues before and that you used those to do something about how you were feeling, perhaps. So I don't know if that's going to be entirely helpful, but we know we have a lot of people hurting, a lot of people who need help. We can see it. You can see it every day, the number of people walking around here who are disheveled and out of their minds. And it is getting worse. And it's just unbelievable that very few of us are talking about this. There are new people every day, and it is getting much worse.
Yeah. On the other matter, though, did you report that the young men involved in getting gunned down, well, of course, they were known to the police, but they were also the ones involved in that heist? There were 3 involved in that heist?
This is what is being alleged, yes.
Okay, it's being alleged. Well, then, if you're not alive, you can't testify. That's alleged as well. All right.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. And this is very serious as this investigation is underway. And, boy, I tell you. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, toll free 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us 422-4796. These text messages. Crackhead Games for months was telling you all about corruption in the police force. Now another man connected to the $1 million heist is killed right after police questioned him about MJ. I bet you think everything is coincidence. 3 men connect. Who's you? You don't know anything what I think. There are no coincidences, and I think almost every single last one of you. Anyway, this place is lost, and this is a problem. We've got major problems here, and we're not willing to admit that half the country likely is majorly corrupt. And that's being very, very nice.
Yeah.
And everybody, after something happens, knows everything.
Yeah, right?
Everybody knows. Oh, you didn't know that back then. What? Why do you know this? How do you know this? So, yeah. This text here, this is the 4th man killed who had some relationship to those voice notes, is it? The 2nd since the police started interviewing people. Wow, these are serious claims. In relation to the voice notes, we need an independent commission of inquiry. This thing appears to have more tentacles than an octopus. When they announced that they'd be interviewing people, I wondered if those persons would be in danger. This is the exact opposite of what Crime Stoppers does to shield potential witnesses. Yeah, remember they said the folks were on the ground.
So, Hydra.
5 people got that. Anyway, that's one of those many parents condoning their criminal children. I don't know if that's fair to say. But this person says here, this is devastating, Dwight. I have no words. My head is hurting. I'm about to start weeping in my car. It's very scary. Very scary. This person says here, these ankle monitor killings start again. I don't know what that means. What do you mean by that? And what is the update on the police investigation, the thing they're saying? This is why you don't have police investigate themselves, because it leads to accusations like this. Not saying the police did anything wrong, but why are they still investigating themselves? With the other incident, I knew several cases where women continue to go back to the relationships where they are being beaten for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I am under the impression I'm not going to read this last part there. But, yeah, again...
We talk about that all the time.
Yeah, it's difficult. It's very challenging. And if there aren't real support, There's
I get news feeds from the Trinidad Express all the time, and there was a similar case. This young lady, well, I don't know what the circumstances are, but I'm saying in terms of domestic violence, she ended up in the hospital, went to a family member's house after she got out, and just left that house and went back to that person.
Wow.
And the next day, she was gone.
Next day?
The next day.
Good Lord. Wow. Let's take this call. Good morning. You're on the air.
Morning, Dwight. How are you?
Doing well.
Well, it's sad morning with that mother. I would like to speak to all the ladies and the girls around the Bahamas. Hey, if you're in a relationship that's going sour, please try to get out of it. This is no time for desperation. If the fella abusing you and things ain't right, try to get out of a relationship or seek help from counseling and stuff like that to try to avoid any further situation, which may have happened yesterday. It has happened in the past. But women have to have, you got to up. You need to pray, and that low self-esteem, that is causing a lot of problems. But you got to seek God first in your life, whatever it is.
Let's send a message to the men, too. The men who won't let these poor women go.
Yeah, some men are going through stuff, but the macho part of it, right? But men, same thing. Seek counsel. Have a lot of men's group that you can go to. Brother Moxie and Burroughs and all those BFM. Check those guys out. If you don't, if you feel shame about the matter.
No. That's not what I mean. The men who are abusing people. Let's talk to them.
Man.
Let's talk to them. You don't. If she doesn't want you, let her go. There are other people.
And then, fellas, guess what? If the lady don't love you, someone else loves you. Why you got to be caught up? There are many fishes in the sea. Hey, so come on, man, guys. Y'all got to do better than this. You don't have to destroy a female because she don't love you, or go jump the bridge. Come on, man. Y'all need to be bigger than that. Move on with your life. But see, you got to have that person's relationship with God first. That's the main thing. And then you'll see where to go, the right road to walk. And then you might find a beautiful lady in the church. So you don't need to force the woman to love you. You can imagine you try to force someone to love you, but you're less than a man. So fellas, grow up, man. Please grow up. I'm a man, and I know all of us got turned down sometime in our lives. You just move on, and you find somebody even better. So come on, fellas. You don't have to go this way, man. And then it's a sad story on both sides. But just be encouraged, everybody, male and female. Be encouraged and seek God. That's the thing.
Okay.
Appreciate it, man.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
I don't know if it's forcing love more so than control by fear.
Yeah.
Some of these fellas so light that that's how they have to keep their relationship in check.
And friends and family see it.
Yeah.
And won't say anything to him. Just will likely tell her to just don't get him angry. Which is very, very disturbing. Yeah. Okay, this texter, we don't need more DV programs, etc. What's that? What's DV? I don't think that is.
DV. If they put an M in there, I know what it is.
We need shelters and stronger protection from the courts for victims. Many return because they have no other alternatives. More centers and programs will only be as strong as the resources available.
Domestic violence.
Oh, okay. And as strong as resources available, and presently there are very few. Social Services has a domestic violence area, there you go, unit until already, but without resources to assist victims, how effective can any of these programs be? Okay.
I think there's the YWCA had housing, still has housing. I could be mistaken about whether or not that program's still going on, but they have stuff for women.
Not enough. It's not
No,
enough.
of course not enough,
more.
but
and I think there's a few halfway houses and shelter and sort of shelters. There's a couple of different organizations.
They used to be big and strong, and now you don't hear from them as much.
Yeah.
My grandma was very involved.
Yeah, no, I don't even know if it's still around. Is it? It was on.
Yeah, Dolphin.
Yeah, right. Very quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's take this call. Good morning. You're on the air.
Quality days, Strachan, voice along with you and Chester, Dwight.
Good morning.
How we need justice law in this country to Bahamas. The children would say, well, monkey, he has a murder again? This place becoming what, man? I don't understand it. Thank you.
No, the children don't say well monkey no more.
We're all confused.
The children say, "Boy, you see this video, boy?" And then they send it off to their friends.
My gosh.
To see killing and stuff in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
And they think it's entertaining.
Yeah, and they want to see it.
They want to see it, yeah, absolutely.
If you say this is the grossest thing I've ever seen, everybody wants to see it.
Yeah.
This person says here, this place is corrupt, and that includes those charged to protect us. The end. Wow.
Well, you never get all the way away from that.
This person says, we know most folks in this country are corrupt. Most don't trust the government, police, and civil servants. Y'all ain't seen crime yet.
What they talking about?
I don't know. It's going to get
Ain't
worse.
seen crime yet?
It's going to get worse. The Bahamas is full of grown, insecure man babies with daddy issues.
I mean, that could be true, too.
Where is the message for... Oh, boy, here we go. Okay. Where is the message for women who beat men? Why don't you tell them up, and why do you have to steer the narrative that males are the aggressors? The caller was making a point that women could be abusers, and you cut them off to say that women are the victims. Why don't you talk to those women who start issues in their relationships? Yes, that can happen, and just like he advised the women in those situations, get out of those situations, men. Right?
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure you knew she was a crazy lunatic gal from that time.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, you did. You did. You saw how she talked to her sister and her brother and what she told her ma that time. You knew it. You knew it. So get out. Get out. And her brother's up on murder charges? Come on now. Please. Anyway. I heard what you said, you guys saying about domestic violence, but it's not always easy to give up. Some people find it hard to let go. Oh, boy. That caller didn't realize that the whole point of abusive relationships is that they're hard to leave. Abusers aren't abusive all the time, so they're manipulated into staying. People always ask, why do women go back? For people who have religious belief, that is actually the curse of Eve. Your desire will be toward the man. It is a shackle, and it is very difficult to break. You don't even have to be to have a religious belief. We see this over and over again. Look at P. Diddy's abuse video. It's not as easy as why did you go back? The key thing isn't leaving. The key for us is teaching young girls and women how to choose the right mate way before any bond is created. Yeah.
Yeah.
In response to the man babies thing, this texter says the Bahamas is full of insecure, entitled women, girl babies. Just a whole bunch of adult babies. Then that's we believe that.
It's
very clear.
It's not the Bahamas.
Not the whole world.
It's across the world.
Yeah.
That's human nature.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll find them in every inch of the world.
Here we go. Women are to blame for the daddy issues.
Huh? Are you talking about Brittany Griner?
What now? What did you say, sir? What? Anyway, let's just move on. Dwight, you're right. This place is lost and full of cost. No, it's rhyming. Lost and full of cost. Okay, I like it. Lost and full of cost. This person says here, people are losing faith in the police. To protect them, we have to deal with corruption before it destroys our nation. Yes. It's destroying it. It's happening.
Again, we're talking about us, but yeah.
Let's take these calls before we have to go to a break. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. How you doing?
Doing well.
And good morning to your guests.
Good morning.
Dwight, I never thought I would say this. But first of all, condolences to the family and those of the dead. My sincere condolences. But I thought I would never have to say this. The situation in Haiti, I objected to the forces going over there and doing what they're doing. But I've been tracking those police officers over there. And Dwight, they're doing a remarkable job so far. And I really think that the Bahamas, we need to go to Kenya and get 300 police to come over here and help us. Because those Kenyan police, they really, really, really train, and they're making a big difference over there in Haiti. I tracking them.
It's not the same thing, though.
We need to do the same.
Our issues aren't like Haiti's issues. We are having interpersonal issues. These are people with long-standing beefs and with relationship problems. We're not having random violence in the streets.
No,
and so
I'm talking about that, Dwight. I'm not speaking about the domestic stuff. I'm speaking about all these gangs and all these killings and stuff. We need help. It's time we say we need help.
So
those Kenyan policemen are doing a wonderful job. I'm watching them every day. And I think, I thought I'd never say it, but we need help. I think we need to look to Kenya for 400 police officers
again,
for 1 year.
It's not going to work. It's not the same thing. It's not the same
Well,
thing. You need to infiltrate. You need to infiltrate the organizations, and you also need to work on the children who are growing up to think that that we've got these problems. And so unless you have undercover Kenyan children,
Dwight,
no, I don't see how that's going
to need to do. We got a part to play in that too. But I'm talking about the tree that has grown to the point where we need outside. We need help. You understand? We can deal with the other stuff ourselves.
Obviously not.
But what I see them doing in Haiti, Dwight, man, we'll be clean up in 5 months. Clean right up.
Okay.
I just thought it was wishful.
Again, I don't know. You're looking at this in a strange way, but thank you very much. If you were walking down the street and afraid that you'd get shot for no reason, yes, you might need some soldiers, some police on the ground like that. We don't have that problem here. If you're walking down the street and get shot, you're likely you did something to somebody, you stole something from somebody, you were next to somebody who did something to somebody. It's a very different type of thing we've got going on here.
Yeah.
They have complete random chaos in Haiti. Gangs own the city of Port-au-Prince. It's not the same. This is just, as we've said days ago, beef.
Beef, yeah.
It's all, you did me something, I can show you something.
Yep.
And the lack of behaviors to know how to deal with situations like that, to bottle up, to find an outlet for how to address their problems.
Yeah.
That does not involve violence.
Yeah, well.
Or hurting somebody else.
The world's not a great example of that.
Especially here. Let's take this call. Good morning, call. You're on the air.
Good morning, Mr. Dwight Strachan. How you doing?
Doing well. Good morning.
Is that Chester Bogart?
Yes, it is.
Good morning.
Okay, good morning, Mr. Bogart. Sparky here. Dwight, yesterday morning, early, I was talking with a doctor friend of mine that graduated in 1970 from the government eye, when I did. And we were just talking about old times, and he just ran it down to me. In the days when he graduated, that was shortly after the PLP came to power in 1967-68. At that time, our forefathers made it a pledge. One of the first things they was going to do was open up the education system and send those capable of the doctors off to school to be educated in medicine, in law, in accounting, all of the high professions. And their job was to come back and help build the nation after the forefathers did their stuff. Those that came back, the Dr. Philip Wellington Thompson and Dr. Robin Roberts, and you name them, that came back from Canada, America, England, and UWI, they came back with the sole purpose of building their profession and so forth. Now, the generation then was told that they ain't got to work hard no more, like the forefathers had to do and Slimy them had to do. They going to make it easy now. They ain't going to be maids no more and bartenders no more and this around the hotels. They going to find big-time job, get big-time contract, and this and that and the next. But the generation after that, they didn't send their children off to school no more. They took them off to school. They flew on the plane with them. They got them nice apartments in Canada and England and this and that and the next. They opened a bank account for them, and all they had to do is go to the bank account on the weekend and withdraw money and so forth. But when they came back now, they wasn't told that they had to work hard no more. They just went into business and moved over the West, Old Fort Bay and Vinton and San Souci, and the big life became the elites. And now, the generation we have now, they don't want to work at all. They're going to sit on the wall and drink Red Bull and Baileys and smoke ganja and so forth. They got the gun now in their hand. They selling grass and cocaine and stuff now. They don't have to work hard no more. Now we picking up cellular in the morning, and I seen a young man with a big hole on the side of his head laying in a puddle of blood. That's what we coming to. And now we listening to voice notes every day with policemen accusing other policemen of corruption. And now we hearing the police commissioner saying we're not going to bring in Scotland Yard because when I read Scotland Yard have a corruption problem for the last 40 years that they dealing with. And these are the stuff that we hearing right on social media every morning. We pick up our WhatsApp.
Okay, yeah.
We're hearing this every day.
It's crazy stuff. Thank you, Sparky. Appreciate it. We're going to go to the news. We'll pick this up on the other side. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
A gun in hand knows no friend. No warmongers selling death in my land, getting rich off the souls of we children. Can you tell me when will it end? How many more must carry this load? Oh, how many more?
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas, Channel 969, and BTC Flow, Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us 422-4796, standard text rate supplied. And now at 8:26, it's time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. We've got a surface trough near the northern Bahamas that continues to lift northwards while supporting pockets of showers over portions of the northern islands. Meanwhile, high-pressure ridging continues to produce moderate to locally fresh winds across the rest of the country. Got a few warnings. A heat advisory in effect again today for the whole country, and everyone's being advised to hydrate and limit outdoor exposure. Boaters should be alert for water spout activity, and beachgoers in the southeast Bahamas should be alert for rip currents along east coast beaches. For today, for all areas, variably cloudy, hot and a bit breezy with passing showers and the chance of afternoon thunderstorms. Mostly fair and warm tonight. Gusty winds, higher seas expected. Reduced visibility also expected in showers and thunderstorms, and a small craft cautions in effect for the southeast Bahamas. Temperatures today getting up to around 91 Fahrenheit, 33 Celsius, but it will likely feel a lot warmer than that with the heat index and the humidity. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 80 Fahrenheit, 27 Celsius. In your extended outlook, ridging from the Atlantic will maintain moderate winds across the country. Meanwhile, a tropical wave is expected to move into or near the southeastern islands by Friday, increasing shower and thunderstorm activity across that area. Tropical waves being monitored for tropical development. We'll tell you about that in just a moment. But for tomorrow, Thursday, we've got a mix of sun and clouds, hot and humid conditions with isolated showers and thunderstorms, especially in the afternoon. A bit breezy in the central and southeastern islands. Friday, variably cloudy, very warm, breezy with isolated showers and thunderstorms. So, in the tropics, we've got near the Greater Antilles and approaching the Bahamas, a large tropical wave about a couple hundred miles east of the Lesser Antilles that's producing shower and thunderstorm activity. Environmental conditions are forecast to gradually become more conducive for development while the system moves generally west-northwestern over the southwestern Atlantic. A tropical depression could form late this week or over the weekend, and the system has about a 60% chance for formation through the next 7 days. It's going to get close to us, folks. We've got to pay attention to this one, but we will keep you posted on it throughout the remainder of the week. But that is your morning blend weather check, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. Sherwin-Williams Paints has got you covered for all your painting and equipment needs. Visit Sherwin-Williams Paints online or in store today. And at 8:29, time for another check of your traffic for the morning, brought to you by RBC. Find your loan solution with RBC. A reminder of the roadworks happening on New Providence. We've got Tonic Williams Darling Highway, the preparation for the paving there. If you're heading eastbound between Bahamas Games Boulevard and Independence Drive, keep that in mind if you're in that area. You might want to avoid it if you can. In your real-time traffic, we've got heavy traffic on Milo Butler Highway from Fire Trail Road straight up to Tonic Williams Darling Highway if you're heading northbound. And traffic is backed up westbound along Tonic Williams Darling Highway as well at this hour. Blue Hill Road looking busy for you near Carmichael. In fact, traffic is backed up along Carmichael eastbound to Blue Hill Road. And once you get north of Soldier Road, more traffic for you on the way to the roundabout with Independence Drive. Also seeing pockets along Prince Charles Drive, the major intersections, and in downtown Nassau on West Bay Street into Marlborough Street. That area is looking congested. And Bay Street, seeing some slow-moving eastbound traffic on the way to East Street. East Street also looking busy northbound for you this morning if you're heading into downtown. Those are your hot spots. That's your real-time traffic and your morning blend traffic alert, brought to you by RBC. Start a conversation at rbc.com/loan/all of you.
RBC. Life is full of twists, turns, and defining moments that create your own unique story. However your story unfolds, we're here to help guide you through it. From every big decision to every new adventure, RBC. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/all of you.
Are you seeking exceptional health care beyond the traditional hospital setting? Introducing Doctors Hospital Clinics, your trusted destination for comprehensive care. Our full-service locations provide affordable services through our Loyalty Advantage membership program and NHI. Experience seamless care with our integrated health system, where your medical history travels with you, ensuring continuity of care. Book an appointment today at clinics.doctorshosp.com. We make primary care easy.
Now let me see now. 326 EPIC. Hello? This Epic battery. This Miss Beulah from round the corner. I hear you're selling tires now on Wolf Road too.
Praise the Lord. It's about time. I live Fox Hill and Fire Trail. It's too far.
That ain't all. They open Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Sunday and holiday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
My brother Sam, he's a hacker, and he could go right there and get fixed up.
Call us at 326 EPIC. We ship also to the Family Island.
Age ain't nothing but a number, they say. Whether you're a baby boomer or a Gen X, Y, or Z, Easy Car Sales invites you to be part of the new Generation E. We drive electric for the savings, for the planet, and most importantly, for the smooth, powerful ride. You really can have it all. We love our EV, and we are Generation E. Join us. Everyone is welcome. Visit IamGenerationE.com to find out more. Brought to you by Easy Car Sales.
Looking for great device deals and offers this summer? Look no further. Alive has special discounts on the latest smartphones, Ring devices, and accessories. Plus, as an Alive customer, you can expect exclusive Get Extra offers and rewards, which means even more value for your money. We're talking more data, prizes, and surprises. Upgrade with us and experience the perfect summer with Alive in store or at bealive.com/deals.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. The rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976. We go everywhere. Shop early at Janae's Chesapeake Road annual back-to-school sale going on now. Get up to 20% off on all school items in stock. Yes, all school items in stock. Shirts, jumpers, skirts, boys' long and short pants, school neckties, PE shorts, and a variety of colors and school monograms. Shop early and don't miss out at Janae's Uniform Center Chesapeake Road's annual back-to-school sale going on now. Remember, we go everywhere. Beat the rush and save, save, save at Janae's annual sale now.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
Craving something delicious and freshly made? Dunkin' has got you covered all day your way. From savory sausage, egg and cheese to crispy bacon, ham, and even tuna, our sandwiches are made to order just for you. Choose your favorite. Bagels, croissant, toast, or muffin. Whatever you want, we've got it. Whether it's a classic grilled cheese or a hearty club, your perfect sandwich is just a bite away. Dunkin's fresh, made-to-order sandwiches made all day your way. Only at Dunkin'. The Bahamas runs on Dunkin'.
The Guardian Media Group has your ticket to Paris.
On your marks, get set, go!
Join the Guardian Media Group, Star 106 Hits, Guardian Radio 96.9, and Hot 91 FM. and follow Team Bahamas from paradise to Paris. Live comprehensive updates on Team Bahamas every day during the 2024 Summer Olympics. We are your ticket to Paris. Nassau Guardian Sports Editor Sheldon Longley will be trackside, bringing you closest to our athletes in their quest for gold. From paradise to Paris. The 2024 Summer Olympics live updates brought to you by gold sponsors, the Bahamas Ministry of Tourism, Jimmy Wines and Spirits, distributors of refreshing Sands beer, silver sponsor Executive Motors, and the bronze sponsors Hertz Rent-A-Car, Nagico Insurance, Bay Street Garage, Nassau Motors, your Chevy and Honda dealers, and New Life Natural. Let the games begin.
Stephen Gardner alongside 100-meter hurdler Devon Charlton.
Splash into summer with CIBC Caribbean. Experience a summer wave like never before when you spend with your CIBC Caribbean Visa credit card. Lucky winners will receive prizes including a private boat charter, hotel day passes, staycations, dinners, and more. Each time you spend $200 or more, you'll automatically be entered for your chance to win. Apply today for your CIBC Caribbean Visa credit card. Terms and conditions apply. Visit www.cibcfcib.com/splash into summer BAH. Promotion ends September 7th, 2024.
Sherwin-Williams Bahamas doesn't mess about when it comes to product range and product knowledge.
If it's a new product come in the store, we walk the store and study that product.
One thing with our boss, if a new product comes in, he takes the time and he's always keeping us up to date with product knowledge. And we just had 9 weeks of different products that we had to study, and we had exams at the end of each product.
Yeah.
The only way we can sell the product effective, we have to know that product. Yeah, that helps us to relate to our customers. It gives us better knowledge to know what product to introduce to them. You understand? So we can know what product to give them to use and what product not to give them to use. So product knowledge is really key in Sherwin-Williams.
They got the keys. And the key is the product knowledge that comes with our extensive product range at Sherwin-Williams Paints, Bahamas. Find color in every day.
At Wendy's, we are different. We don't just use beef. It's fresh, never frozen. Our burgers are square because we never cut corners. Served hot off the grill with fresh lettuce, tomatoes, onions, and American cheese. We believe in fast food done right. Always serving fresh, never frozen beef. Order a hot, juicy Dave single, double, or triple. Made with fresh, never frozen beef. Now only at Wendy's. Different inside and out.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Calling all young champions, supportive sidekicks, and wise mentors. Are you ready to unleash your back-to-school superpowers? Fly into John Bull Business Center, gear up, and enjoy a super 20% off all school supplies and 10% off on teaching aids. And that's not all. With every purchase now through September 7th, enter to win a $3,000 shopping spree. Zoom in to John Bull Business Center today and gear up like a true super student.
Hey Bahamas, ready for some eye-openers? Check out 2 brand new books by our legendary 3-time PM, Hubert Ingram. Get the tea on his amazing leadership and courage to buck the system. These books are for you, the game changers, movers and shakers, and anyone passionate about our nation's roots and future. Available now at Dungalik Studios, Logos Bookstore, the National Art Gallery of the Bahamas, and Chapter 1 Bookstore. Score your copies today. Celebrate our amazing legacy.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Your boom pineapple wine, your $1.50 all the time. Your boom pineapple wine, your $1.50 all the time. Turn around and let me see. Turn around and let me see your boom.
We're back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan, along with Chester Robards, on this Wednesday morning, final Wednesday of July 2024. 2024. Wow, 2024. All right, so coming up in a few minutes, we're going to be talking with Dairy Queen about their Miracle Treat Day, which is coming up in just a few days. And later, we're talking with BAIC about some exciting things they have going on. 50 Acts of Love and Service initiative they had there. So that's all I had. But we continue to talk about the news of the day, just two horrible homicides, murders yesterday, and getting your reaction to this unfortunately almost daily occurrence here in Nassau, in New Providence. And so we're getting your reaction. Again, you can call in 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. All right. We've got a lot of your text messages. Let's read these. Prayer changes things. Let's pray without ceasing. This country has gone mad. How many of the texters lived outside of the Bahamas? Corruption exists everywhere. Look at the YSL, Rico, you were just talking about this.
Oh, yeah.
Trial. And for the perverted mind that lays domestic violence at the feet of religion, please keep your mouth closed so that we can't hear the depths of your ignorance. You've been following that trial? I don't want to talk about it.
I haven't been.
Okay.
No,
There's corruption
I
in
only
it?
found out yesterday what YSL means. And the only reason I even looked at that story is because it was saying it was like the longest case ever, in Georgia history or something. And I'm like, what are they talking about?
Oh, okay. This person says here, what time did the Christian Council say they were going to have a press conference about how hard they are advocating against the corruption that is at the heart of all of these issues we face? Or are they still home watching anime and telling grown adults not to go to watch it? You're mixing up a lot of things here, though. Anyway, evil running things around here, not because it can, but only because so many good people stay silent that they are hurting. And the texter goes on to say, I'm with that caller about looking at Kenya, bro. We need to get in them streets and roll out these corrupt governments. Their force only is on top because they're weeding out their dirty officials in government and the force. I think you're a little confused about things here. But okay, I hear you. That's not quite now. Are you talking about the police or get in the streets like what the Kenyans did? He was talking about bringing in the police force from Kenya. Very different. Yeah. The people of Kenya are fed up with corruption and took to the streets.
Right.
It's very different from what he's suggesting. What you're suggesting might need to be done. Maybe. I don't know. But I can't say for certain. But hey, it's something. It's something. This person says here, take that ankle bracelet off my child's foot. Well, where do you put the ankle bracelet? Around his waist? I don't understand. Why are you texting this?
That's a joke. I mean,
Yeah. Oh, boy.
They're being salty.
Yeah. While I don't agree that we need outside policing help, we need to see more police on the streets. We witness lawlessness on every front from the general public. It's like it's not enough police to police New Providence. People are not afraid to run traffic lights. Vehicles are heavily tinted with no fear of being ticketed. We are in trouble. Yeah, absolutely.
It's the people who flying up the middle of the road, not caring what coming in their direction.
Yeah, overtaking 20 cars.
Yo, it's crazy. I swear I see it every week. And it ain't the same person.
Every day.
It's close to every day, but...
well, I mean...
These people mad.
I've seen it. Police cars seeing 25 people on motorbikes just ride by. No helmets, no nothing, no license, no whatever.
I see...
Like, anything goes.
I see too many tiny bodies hanging between the driver's and passenger seat. Mm-hmm. You know?
I hadn't seen that for a while, but just last week I saw a child like pretty much pasted to the windshield. And I'm like, this is insane. And no, of course, nobody in the car was wearing a seatbelt. Not one person.
One of those crazy drivers doing 90 up the middle of the road just to get 10 feet away had 2 kids in the car.
Always. That's how these people learn. Babies. That's how they learn to drive like this.
That's how they learn to act like the way they act.
Do whatever you want.
Life.
Do whatever you want.
Also, can I just air a gripe? How come we still got people learning to drive, sticking their hand out the window, waving to slow down?
Are they learning to drive stick?
What?
You said stick?
No, stick their hand out the window.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's very odd.
Why does that still happen?
I don't know. Perhaps that's why nobody uses turn signals, because they were too busy using their hands. And because nobody's telling you what they're doing. They're just changing lanes at any point. But yeah, too busy with the hands.
And then if you have a right-hand drive car and I have a left-hand drive car, am I seeing it?
Well, not if you're right up under their bumper, I guess.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
that should tell you something. Anyway, I really didn't understand what the distraught and emotional mother was saying. Well, she's hurt. She's hurt. Okay. You must admit that some women bait and antagonize men to beat them because quite often women don't know what to say. Oh my God. Wow.
Bait, huh?
Wow.
Are we mindless fish? Okay.
Wow. Texter, I got to tell you, you might need to talk to somebody. You might need to talk to somebody.
That was broadly. No, never mind.
Let's go to the break. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
RBC. RBC will find the right loan for all of you with competitive rates and extended terms to suit you. Whether it's for debt consolidation, your next vehicle, or home purchase, sometimes we all need a little more. No matter the reason for the loan, we're here to help you find the solution. RBC. RBC has all the loans for all of you. Let's start with a conversation today.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice, it's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the know-how team at 396-1101.
We're gonna give you a check every week for a year. Percy's Pension Plan, Island Game, keep you winning. Percy's Pension Plan, dream big, we will help you live it. Percy's Pension Plan, Island Game, we got you. Percy's Pension Plan, from the friends you can trust. If winning is a must, go play the game you know, cause your best chance is with us. The most trustworthy name is Percy's Island Game. So put 20 on your account and ride this easy train at Percy's Island Game.
Now let me see now. 326 ETIC. Hello? This Epic Eckert battery. This Miss Beulah from round the corner. I hear you're selling tires now on Wolf Road too.
Praise the Lord. It's about time. I live Fox Hill and Fire Trail. It's too far.
That ain't all. They open Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Sunday and holiday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
My brother Sam, he's a hacker, and he could go right there and get fixed up.
Call us at 326 EPIC. We ship also to the Family Island.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Don't you understand the way I feel? How could you relate to so much pain? Seems as though nothing can comfort me. So today I pray that someone should listen, for nothing should matter, not when love grows inside you. The choice is yours. There's a miracle in store. Nothing should matter.
We are back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan and Chester Robards having a great discussion about music in the studio this morning. And this beautiful song, Miracle. And we chose that because DQ Miracle Treat Day is coming up in just a few days. Here to tell us all about this, we're very pleased to have with us COO Crystal Campbell. And we have from Sandilands Rehabilitation Center, we have Nurse Nasia Newbold and Nurse Jacqueline Bonnaby. Welcome. Great to have you all with us this morning.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so Crystal, let's get right into that mic there. Remind folks what DQ Miracle Treat Day is all about and why it's so important.
A pleasant good morning to everyone. So Dairy Queen is in its 8th year of celebrating Miracle Treat Day. And Miracle Treat Day is a fundraising initiative to assist children that are living or battling, coping various diseases. So it's an international fundraising initiative. We've been a part of it, like I said, for the last 8 years to provide support for a better way of life for those children for various diseases, and also to bring awareness to these different diseases at the same time as well. Mm-hmm. So it's also an educational component aspect of it, while at the same time raising funds for the desired recipient. And this year, we're so excited and happy to have the Child and Adolescents Unit at the Sandilands Rehabilitation Center as this year's recipient. And we're definitely bringing awareness to children's mental health.
Wow. Okay. All right. So we'll get back on what people can do to help in just a bit with you, Crystal. But Nurse Newbold, Nurse Bonnaby, tell us about that, how this will help you, and then we can get into child mental health this morning. That'll be very fitting with what we were talking about earlier in the show. We'll get back to that in a bit. But tell us about how this will help.
Okay. Good morning once again. And we just want to say a very huge thank you to Dairy Queen for choosing the Child and Adolescent Unit to be this year's recipient of Miracle Treat Day. And this will help us in terms of, on our unit, we would like to, we're going to develop our library where we can have different genres of books, because the children, even when they come to our unit for help, they are still in school. We have a school there, so they're in school so they can have their different books, even for recreation purposes. So this initiative would help us greatly with the development of our library.
Wow. Okay. Let's talk about some of the issues, the cases that you're seeing, and how severe they are, and what's contributed to this.
Well, in past years, Ms. Campbell spoke about donating to different children with different disorders. And a lot of persons don't think about mental health, and they think that only adults have mental health issues or suffer from mental illnesses. But even those children who would have gone through those different kidney diseases, cancer, they also, from adjusting to those diagnoses, they also do suffer from some mental health issue, accepting the new diagnosis. Right. So we do see children who come in with anxiety. They can also be depressed from their, accepting these diagnoses. Mm-hmm. We have post-traumatic stress disorder. Children are bullied in school. They suffer from peer pressure. We also see children with conduct disorders, behavioral disorders. So we see children who come in with a lot of different disorders that affect their mental health, and that's in dealing with coping with these different, like I say, when children are diagnosed, they coping the different changes that affect them. So we see a lot of children who come in, and suicidality is very much on the rise. In the past 2 to 3 years, especially since COVID, we've seen a lot of children who've come in with suicidal thoughts or suicidal ideation, thinking about it or actually attempting. So we've seen a lot of that in the past few years.
Any particular age groups or gender?
Well, on our unit, we see children between the ages of 6 years old to 18 years old. But the youngest we've had so far would have been 8 years old. So they go up to 18. And we host male and female clients. So it's a co-ed ward. And the ratio between is almost a balance. You would think that mostly females, but we do have males that come in with suicidal ideations or suicide attempts.
Nurse Barbara, you can jump in as well. We were talking about it earlier with the crime situation here, and we see the videos of children at these crime scenes seeing horrible things that adults shouldn't be seeing, and it just seems like this is routine in this country, but it must be having some impact on our young people.
Good morning, Bahamas. Absolutely. Being on a crime scene as a child and seeing such traumatic event, it will affect their mental health. We call that emotional disorders, where the child can't process what they saw, and later on in life, if not treated, it can affect them as an adult.
Yeah. And you're seeing this. Children come in from who've suffered the trauma of something like this.
Yes, we see it through in areas where children see, for instance, their father, their mom, cousin get killed. Yeah. And it affects them throughout their life. Like I said, if they are not treated early to prevent a chronic PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah. Tell us about treatment, how that works, how long generally, and is there treatment after you're released? What exactly is the process like?
Okay, so the process for treatment of adolescent is very delicate. First thing we do is non-pharmacological treatment, where we do a lot of talk therapy or counseling. With that, we also support them, the patient and their family, because as nurses, just nursing the patient has to go home, and the family has to buy in or participate in their care so that there's continuity of their care while at home, and that would include taking their medication if prescribed, attending clinics, and attending whether you go to a psychologist or a psychiatrist for therapy.
Yeah. What happens if home is part of the problem?
Right.
Well, if home is a part of the problem, we have a multidisciplinary approach where the social worker is involved. So with the social worker, the psychiatrist, the nurses, the occupational therapists, the recreational therapy, we all come together and collaboratively manage the patient.
And how many adolescents do you have on the unit right now? Nurse Newbold?
Well, at present, we have 3 clients at present. This is not the norm, because we can have up to 15, 18 clients. But the numbers fluctuates depending on what's going on, because some children, their case may not be as acute as others, so they come in to get that initial help, because the last thing you would want to do is remove a child from their home, from their normal environment. But on the unit, we try to make the unit as what we call a therapeutic milieu, where we make the unit as much as home as possible with whatever the child have at home, and the nurses become their parent while they are there, because some children are not used to being away from their parents at all. So we try our best to make sure that they get that and get them out as soon as they can to a functional level where they have the support. And in psychiatry and in anything in life, support is very important, because even you and I as persons, if we're going through, because we all go through things, we have our support system that we go to, whether it is our significant other, our pastor, our friend, or whatever. We need that support. So we make sure that support system is in place. And so the social worker, if the child may need to be removed from home until those parents or their guardian get the therapy and the treatment that they need, because they may need to go to some support or parenting group in order to help them to get them back to where they need to be, and the child can get to go to their maximum. So treatment is continuous. It doesn't end after the child leaves the unit. It goes on after they leave the unit. Our social worker, our team, we follow up with those clients because we know because of our archipelago, some children, they go back to the family island. So we do what we call virtual calls. We'll do telephone calls to follow up on those children to make sure that the children are doing okay. And our recidivism rate is very low. Okay. I've just done my report, and we probably had about, from January to June, we probably had about, I think it would have been like probably 7 children out of about 40-something. So it's low. So we try to keep that rate as low as possible.
Can you say how many or a percentage of the children who go on to have problems in adulthood? Do you have any data on that?
I don't have any data on that. I don't have any data, unfortunately, on that.
What advice would you give to parents who might be concerned about a child of theirs, or friends, family, teachers who might be looking? Somebody said this child needs
because help. Children, they go in all these places, school, church, and social events. The advice that I would give them: if you see something, say something. We know that there's a stigma attached to mental health issues. And just as you have mental health, you have mental illness. As physical health, you have physical illness. So if you're not feeling physically well, you would go to the doctor and get help so that you can be physically well. And the same thing with mental illness. If you're not mentally well, then you go and you get assistance. And assistance is there. We have the Community Counseling Assessment Center on Market Street where they can go and get help. Or you can call the Child and Adolescent Unit or Sandilands Rehabilitation Center, and someone will guide those persons in the direction that they can go in order to get assistance. And even we want the children to know, who are listening out there, it's okay to not be okay. And if you're not okay, then you talk to someone, and that a trusted adult or even a friend who can talk to someone and get help. And I would say to friends of those persons, if you see a friend not acting the same, they've been acting strange for a while, say something to their parents, say something to the teacher, say something to the pastor, say something so that child can get help. Because sometimes it's so long, they wait. Parents, teachers, they let the problem go on. Well, parents, I should say, not the teachers, but if teachers see it in school, usually they would refer them to the guidance counselor who would reach out and ask to get help for that child. But say something. We are here to help you. There is help, and we can help you.
And if the first person you talk to tells you to snap out of it, say something to that person who's heard that before. Snap out of it. Stop crying.
And then, snap out of it. It's easier said than done, but you can't. Some persons can't just snap out of it because their thinking is off. So that's where you come and you get the therapy that you need from the psychologist, the psychiatrist, talk therapy from the nurse, and all the different therapies that can help you with your coping skills or whatever situation is going on, because usually it's deeper than the surface. So some children would have come with underlying issues that would have happened from as early as in their toddlerhood. And, it's in the subconscious. So when they grow up, they find out that things are bothering them. And when you delve into it, you find out there's something that happened. Some children being molested as babies, toddlers, young adults, even physical, mental, any type of abuse. Or they may have experienced something, like you say, the murder of someone. So we say something if you see something, because the person who's going through may not be able to ask for help. Especially with children and adolescents because of their thinking.
I think you suggested that medication was kind of like a last resort, but do you often find that some of these kids have to be
medication is last resort, especially with child and adolescent children, because a lot of their issue may mimic certain, especially like with mood disorders. Adolescents are moody. So you don't just put them on a mood stabilizer because they're normally moody. So you want to watch it and see what happens. And we get a collaborative information we get from school, from parents. Our social worker will get a school report to see how that child behavior is in school, along with their parents. And while we see them there on the unit, and the team would collaborate and they would go from there. But medication is usually the last resort.
So, Crystal, we see why you've chosen the child adolescent unit. There's definitely need there. So how can we help? How can the public help?
Well, everyone can help by going and visiting any of our 7 locations at Dairy Queen. We have small Miracle Treat Day coupons available for just a mere $6.85. And so every coupon that is sold, $2 goes into the kit for the fundraising initiative for the Child and Adolescents Unit. Also, on the day of, which is August 8th, that's Miracle Treat Day, you can stop to any Dairy Queen location and purchase any size Blizzard from a mini size to a large size. And same concept, $2 goes towards the fundraising initiative.
Excellent.
Yes, so visit Dairy Queen. We have coupons available. We invite corporate Bahamas to, purchase for your employees, incentivize them. It's only $6.85, for an employee. And then everybody loves sweet. Everyone loves Dairy Queen. And even as patrons yourself, just think of it as treating yourself and also helping a worthy cause at the same time.
Yeah. And it's a hot summer, and so this will go really well.
So ice cream goes very well with that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, remind us again the date and what we can expect at Dairy Queen on Thursday, August 8th.
So once again, I just want to invite everybody across in Nassau, and if you're visiting Nassau from the Family Island, stop into Dairy Queen. We have 7 locations: Harbor Bay, Mall at Marathon, Southwest Plaza, Cable Beach, Sea Grapes, BC Hilton, which is downtown, and our newest location, Carmichael West. So we have 7 locations. Most convenient in your area. Stop in a Dairy Queen, purchase a coupon, or on August 8th, come in and purchase Blizzards so that we can help this worthy cause.
Okay. And how can we get more information about the Child Adolescent Unit at Sandlands?
So you can call the Child and Adolescent Unit. The direct number is 364-9682. That's the direct number to the Adolescent Unit, and we will assist you with any information that you may need. If not, then you can call the Sandilands Rehabilitation Center direct. The number is 364-9600, and the operator will direct you to the unit.
Okay, all right. Excellent stuff. Crystal Campbell, one more time. Tell us about where and when for Miracle Treat Day.
So once again, Miracle Treat Day on August 8th. All roads leads to Dairy Queen. And just a little point I wanted to mention as well, too. You can pre-order your Blizzards as well, too. So if you in an office setting environment, you're at camp, your law office, the insurance office, get together, put in your order, and we can have them delivered to your office. So you don't even have to leave your office. We have that option as well, too. So, and you can come into the locations, purchase coupons, and on the day, August 8th, purchase Blizzards. It's Blizzards, mini, small, medium, and large Blizzards, and $2 goes toward the worthy cause of the Child and Adolescents Unit at the Sandlands Rehabilitation Center.
Okay, all right.
And with 7 locations, all roads do lead to a Dairy Queen.
Yes.
On this island.
All right, wonderful stuff, ladies. Thank you again for being here. Crystal Campbell with Dairy Queen, and Nurse Nasia Newbold, and Nurse Jacqueline Bonnaby with the Child Adolescent Unit with Sandlands Rehabilitation Center.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you all so much. We're going to go to a break and go to the news, and we'll be back with Morning Blend Business in just a bit here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Could you understand the way I feel? How could you relate to so much pain? a miracle in store. How could I let go of a miracle? Nothing could ever take its place. Thought I was looking out for myself. Now it seems the pain is all that I have.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
The views and opinions of the host and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Wednesday, July 31st, 2024. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Chester Robards, and this morning we're talking with BAIC. They have something special going on, have had something special going on, 50 Acts of Love and Service Initiative. Here to tell us all about this, we are very pleased to have Assistant Manager of Corporate Communications Department, LeVar Miller. Good morning. Great to have you with us.
A pleasant good morning. It's always great to be back here at the Guardian. I feel as if this is my second home. How many times I come throughout the year.
Always welcome.
But it's good to be here just to inform the general public of the many different things that BAIC is either about or what it is that we're doing. Mm-hmm. And so last year, July, in honor of the 50th anniversary of our independence, 50 years, a very significant year. We wanted to do several things at the corporation. And so one of those things that we did was we did a time capsule that we were able to place so many different stuff that was current and past things that we did throughout the corporation in this time capsule. Mm-hmm. And I think we have a period of 100 years before the other crew that comes after us can then go and dig it up right in the front of our headquarters. Mm-hmm. And so that was one of the initiatives that we did during that period of time. And then we also launched our 50 Acts of Love and Service. Mm-hmm. And it was an initiative where our former chairman, the Honorable Leroy Major, would have launched. And it's all about giving back to the community. And so we had all of our different departments and throughout New Providence, as well as on the Family Islands, participated with staff. It was an initiative where staff put up their own funds in order to assist. Mm-hmm. We didn't want it to be too extravagant, where we told them $50 a time in terms of with the community for each department that was doing something. And so we had different topics where we had different departments would assist in giving back. Mm-hmm. And so one of those areas would have been the police are our friends, where we had several interactions with police officers, giving back, whether it was providing them with breakfast in the morning. The Road Traffic Department was the first department in the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, police force, that we assisted with that. Right. We also had one of our officers in Abaco that assisted with that on the island of Abaco. Wow, so we were very far-reaching with this initiative, just to provide assistance and give back to those persons who normally or would not often be able to receive. Mm-hmm. And so we saw it as a good corporate citizen, as well as something to participate with the Independence Festival during that time, and it was to run for 1 year, and we're closing out. We've closed out in July, actually June of last month, and so it's been very. It was a good initiative where persons received it well. Mm-hmm. We were able to give to the Good Samaritan Home in Yellow Elder. They were our first recipients of it, where they received, the residents of the home received different canned goods and stuff like that to assist them. Mm-hmm. And so we would also know that we would have given to the Pot Senior Citizens Home, Unity House. And so many different areas we were able to touch as it relates to this initiative. And staff were very pleased to participate in giving to so many different people throughout the length and breadth of the Bahamas.
That's wonderful. So tell us more about that, the impact on the staff. Have you seen any changes as a result of this?
Yeah, well, I think that it all enlightens us throughout, and that's why we didn't want it to limit it just to New Providence. Mm-hmm. We wanted our staff in Grand Bahama who gave to one of the community homes there. Staff in Exuma would have cleaned up the area in the main Georgetown area, and then they would have also provided food for one of the staff pets. Wow. Who has some pets, and they would have assisted her with that. Okay. We also had in New Providence, where our research department gave away free pet food. Mm-hmm. So as long as you came there with your animal, they were able to give you, a baggie of pet food for that initiative. And so staff were very involved. They were very creative in what it was that they wanted to do. Our department, corporate communications, we were able to join up with the Honorable Glennis Hannah Martin to identify somebody in her constituency where our topic was hurricane. We're in the hurricane month. And so we wanted to assist somebody who, may not be as fortunate in order to support, to have goods for them during that period. Right. And so it was very challenging. There was somewhat of a competition to see who can outdo the other. And so it shows the level of staff support, and so we just wanted to thank all of those different agencies and groups that would have also assisted and benefit from this initiative. And we also want to encourage the general public it's good to give. Yeah. It's always better to give than it is to receive. Mm-hmm. And I think the thinking behind that is that if everybody give, then everybody would be receiving. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so at the end of the day, we were just grateful that we were able to impact so many lives in one way or the other through this initiative throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Yeah.
Did you find, or have you heard if any other corporate entities kind of took on the same kind of idea?
Well, I'll say this, we did come on the show here, and you were the guest at the time when we came in and we spoke about it. Yeah. And I would say just through public awareness, I would have seen more corporate entities giving back in one way or the other. Yeah. Now, I know the persons were always doing it. And so it goes to reinforce the importance of us looking out for each other. Yeah. Today we may be well, but tomorrow we don't know what it brings. And it's so interesting that with the previous guests that were on here, one of our groups, our HR department, actually assisted in that same project with getting enough funds to purchase some of those stuff for the kids. Yeah. And so here it is, you see where we're continuing a process of making an impact. Yeah. And so that's what it's always about. The corporation finds way to assist with donations in different aspects. We would have also had one of our departments that assisted with the South Beach police station, like I said. We had many different homes that benefit. We had private individuals that benefit, persons who would have come to the produce exchange would have gotten a reduced price during that particular time that particular department was doing one of their acts of 50 services, love and services. And so, we just want to thank our staff. We want to encourage the private and public sector to always think of ways that we can assist each other. We're hopeful that we will continue to do it throughout the year. We've done it in the past in terms of assisting the children's home, where we came together during Thanksgiving times, And so sometimes we wait until Thanksgiving or certain periods to give back. But what we're saying is that this giving back process can be something that is done throughout the year. You understand? And so we just want to thank all those staff members and all those persons who would have benefited as a result of this initiative.
Were any of the recipients really blown away, really surprised? I can imagine the police aren't used to this exactly.
Yeah, they were very surprised. I was able to go to the initiative when they did it with South Beach, but even the one where they did it at road traffic. So many times those individuals may not be considered. Right. But we saw and we posted on our Facebook page, and you can go back and review our Facebook page because we posted most of them on the page. Some persons may not have wanted, the public acknowledgement, but in any event, we do it because we want to encourage others to give. Yeah. So many times people say, well, why are you doing this in terms of highlighting? But if we all can take time out on a daily basis or a weekly basis or however it is, some people are fortunate to do it daily, to assist others, I think that it would also assist with the mindset of our people.
Well, people are thinking that nobody's doing anything good, that it's all bad all the time, but that's not exactly the case.
No, you have many entities that are out there that are giving back. Yeah. And so we're just glad to know that we were able to think of such an initiative. We also assisted many schools. H.O. Nash, which has a farming project going on with that particular school, we were able to assist. Sandilands school has a great farming initiative as well. And so there are different areas that we were able to target. We had a group that went in and just read to the students, primary school students at Sanderville School, which is now the Judith Thompson School, recently renamed. And so the initiative was able to take us not just in one area, but take us throughout. Like I said, we did things in Exuma, we did things in Eleuthera. Eleuthera was able to touch some people there as well, with Miss Cambridge, who leads that office, and Miss Astor Mackey. And so Grand Bahama was able to do another thing, and Andres. And so we were able, wherever we had an office, to get them involved so that they can also reach persons on that island.
This sounds like more than 50 acts.
But we came close to 50. We didn't really do exactly 50.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But I feel as if it was a good start. And I think that, before we didn't do anything like this on this level. And so we were able to put it in the staff mindset. And we had our former executive chairman involved, to all staff that were involved in participating in this initiative. And so, we just want to say thank you to everybody, even those persons who would have received, for opening themselves to us for an initiative like this.
So how did it end? You say last month you brought it to a close. What was the final act?
Well, the final act was we had I think it was the HR department that would have done the act for the kids with the Dairy Queen. Okay. And so that was very good. We also had our commercial entities and fish and farm stores that would have given back to farmers, as well as do a blood drive. And so it was very vast, different things, because we had different topics. And so we had about 5 or 7 different topics. And what we did was each week a department would be assigned to a particular topic, and then they would have to design however they wanted to give back. And so it rotated where each of the departments and each island were able to at least give back twice within that period of time. And so it wasn't too strenuous on the staff as well, because you would have given, let's say, 1 week in 1 month, and then you come back the following year and give another. So that's how we arranged it and worked it out to be.
I know you're encouraging other businesses to give back. Any roadblocks, obstacles, or was it a simple process to do this?
I think basically from what I've gathered from the different department heads and the different locations, it was simple. I think once you let them know that, well, you're from an organization and this is what our initiative is about, many persons were very welcoming. Yeah. And so I think for the private sector to just different corporate entities to also take on initiatives similar to this or their very own, it speaks well for where we're at as a people and a country when we can look out for each other. Yeah. So many times you have persons who would travel to the Bahamas and they say, well, I didn't realize how friendly the people were. I didn't realize how giving, the people here were. And so the thing is to continue along those paths of being our brother's keeper. And that itself was one of our topics, to be our brother's keeper, so that you can find some way to give back.
Yeah. So the year is up. So what's next for BAIC? How are you going to top this?
Well,
what can we expect for the rest of the year at least?
Anything that comes up, you better believe we will be here on Guardian Radio to let you guys know. But BAIC continues to assist with the rollout of our different programs, training programs, initiatives that we have. In fact, we just finished one last week, Wednesday, that was an introduction to jewelry making. And so many times people don't really see the value in learning another skill. But you can either do it as a hobby or it becomes a cotton industry for you as an individual where you can start to hone your skills. And so we were able to have persons who would have been a part of so many of our different training programs over the years to also join in this one. And we have some for the family islands as well. So we want to let them know that we're coming to the different family islands to continue to expand our reach so that we can empower our people. BAIC is more than just the agriculture part of it, but we're there to help develop small business throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And so we're there to grow and expand our entrepreneurial pursuits that the country has, that the government of the day would mandate us to do. And so we do that through offering different programs. We do that through offering business plans. We do that through offering leased land that is leased to BAIC from the government, and so that we can help to expand entrepreneurial pursuits.
Excellent. How can people get in contact with you, get more information?
Yes, well, we are located on Old Trail Road. That's opposite BTVI in the area of Solomons, Cable Bahamas area down there. And so you can always come and visit us at our head office. We have our produce exchange there where we've developed great relationships with farmers throughout the islands of the Bahamas. What they do is they would bring their fruits and vegetables to the produce exchange or to the packing houses on the different islands. We would go through them. Our staff there would go through them and grade those items, and then they would come to the produce exchange here in New Providence. What that does is it allows the farmer on the family island to know that they have an avenue where their products can be sold. And what we do is we sell it at a reduced rate. What it is, it's one of the freshest produce that you can get anywhere on the island because they're coming in on Fridays every week after being picked that same week. And so it goes from the ground straight to your home, unlike other places where there may be an extended period. And so we want to encourage persons, and we also want to encourage young people to get into farming. Farming is a good thing because we need to eat. Several years ago, for different reasons, we had 9/11. We knew what happened there. Then recently we had COVID. We knew what happened there. And so we need to be able to put ourselves in position where we're able to feed ourselves in case something else happens. And so BAIC is very passionate about all aspects that we have. We have very hard-working team that are there, that are dedicated to ensure that we assist persons with their entrepreneurial pursuits. We're not perfect, but we try to close the gaps where we see that there may be issues that we may need to deal with. We are looking for more land, and so hopefully we can get more land to assist more people with their pursuits throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And so, that's just what our mandate is, to go out there and to assist those persons who have entrepreneurial investments.
Excellent. Really quickly, the hours and times for the dates for the Produce Exchange.
The Produce Exchange is open from Monday to Friday from 8 to 3:30, and then on Saturday from 8 to 12 noon. Okay, and the Produce Exchange can be found at our head office on Soldier Road, Industrial Park. We also have our fish and farm store. We also have the feed mill that we're responsible for. So all those aspects that deals with us feeding ourselves and taking care of the animals, this is what BAIC does.
Great stuff. Keep up the wonderful work, and congratulations on the wonderful initiative.
Well, it's always good to be here. It's always good to impart and let the general public know what we're doing as a corporation. And so we appreciate the partnership with Guardian Radio.
Thank you. LeVar Miller with BAIC. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
All right, we're going to take a break and be back after this. This is Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9.
In 2023, over 9 million visitors came to the Bahamas. This year, we plan on shattering that record. That's why tourism is everyone's business.
Paradise is not only found in Nassau, but throughout our 16-island destination.
No matter who you are or what you do, we all have a part to play in our tourism industry.
This is our country.
These are our islands.
This is our home. That's why tourism is everyone's business.
Earning zero interest on your savings at the bank? With as little as $100, you can start earning interest on your money while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank with the CFAL Savings Express Plan. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit CFAL.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
It's a Scotia Plan Loan Summer. With Scotiabank, you can chase your summer vacation, swing into your home renovation, and slide on back to school with ease. Apply for your Scotia Plan loan and benefit from competitive rates, flexible loan terms, and no payments for up to 2 months. Take off your to-do list this summer and apply for a Scotia Plan loan today.
All those loans I had were so overwhelming. Fidelity's debt consolidation loan combined all my loan payments into one easy payment with a built-in savings plan that pays me unbeatable interest. It's time to make that move to Fidelity. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Age ain't nothing but a number, they say. Whether you're a baby boomer or a Gen X, Y, or Z, Easy Car Sales invites you to be part of the new Generation E. We drive electric for the savings, for the planet, and most importantly, for the smooth, powerful ride. You really can have it all. We love our EV, and we are Generation E. Join us. Everyone is welcome. Visit IamGenerationE.com to find out more. Brought to you by Easy Car Sales.
Ready to save? You can put $100 into the CFAL Savings Express Plan and make sure your money keeps growing. Earn interest on your savings while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit CFAL.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
It is time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. URCA, the Utilities Regulation and Competition Authority's report outlining the audit of the performance and organizational maturity of BPL concludes that BPL is in dire straits financially, with the report explaining that the power company ended its financial year in 2023 with a net profit margin of negative 24%. The report states that BPL has been operating at a loss since 2022 and that its net profit margin was negative 20% and negative 24% in fiscal year 2022 and fiscal year 2023, respectively. Since fiscal year 2017, BPL's net profit margin has averaged negative 2%. Other financial KPIs, or key performance indicators, also demonstrate BPL's poor financial standing. The report also outlines that in fiscal year 2023, the utility's earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization, that margin was 7%, while its current ratio is 120%. The audit adds that the company's return on assets was negative 12%. You can read more about this in today's Guardian business section. Seafront Simulations is working to put the most realistic images of the Bahamas yet into Microsoft Flight Simulator, enhancing the flyover experience of the Bahamas in the popular flight simulation sector. According to a story on Microsoft Flight Simulator add-ons website, msfsaddons.com. That site said Seafront Simulations revealed this major project exclusively to them and called it the most ambitious undertaking to dramatically improve the realism of the archipelago's bustling seas and harbors. Details in today's Guardian business section. And overseas, Boeing naming a longtime aerospace industry veteran as its new CEO, who will take over a company that has been rocked by legal, regulatory, and production problems. 64-year-old Robert Kelly Ortberg, former CEO at aerospace supplier Rockwell Collins, will succeed David Calhoun as CEO effective August 8th. Boeing announcing today its new CEO as it reported a loss of more than $1.4 billion on falling revenue during the second quarter. The loss is wider and revenue lower than Wall Street expected, and both Boeing's commercial airplanes business and defense unit lost money. The disappointing results come at a tumultuous time for Boeing. The company agreed to plead guilty to fraud in connection with the MAX, two of which crashed, killing 346 people. The FAA has increased its oversight of the company following mistakes, including the blowout of a panel on an Alaskan Airlines jet. It's pushing back against whistleblower allegations of manufacturing shortcuts that crimp on safety as well. The company's dealing with supply chain problems that are hindering production, which it hopes to fix in part by reacquiring Spirit Aerosystems, a key contractor. It's still trying to persuade regulators to approve two new models of the MAX and a bigger version of its two-aisle 777's jetliner. Plus, it's facing a multi-billion-dollar decision on when to design a new single-aisle plane to replace the MAX. The popular deli meat company Boar's Head is recalling an additional 7 million pounds of ready-to-eat products made at a Virginia plant as an investigation into a deadly outbreak of listeria food poisoning continues. The U.S. Agriculture Department says the new recall includes 71 products made between May 10th and July 29th under the Boar's Head and Old Country brand names. It follows an earlier recall of more than 200,000 pounds of sliced deli poultry and meat. The new items include meat intended to be sliced at delis, as well as some packaged meat and poultry products sold in stores. They include liverwurst, ham, beef, salami, bologna, and other products made at the firm's Jarrett, Virginia plant. And frustrated with growing economic hardships, Nigerians are planning nationwide protests this week against the country's worst cost of living crisis in a generation. And with the momentum soaring on social media, authorities fear a replay of the deadly 2020 demonstrations against police brutality in the West African nation, or a wave of violence similar to last month's protests in Kenya, where a tax hike led to chaos in the capital, Nairobi. The government of Nigerian President Bola Tinubu says it's determined to prevent such a scenario in a country that has long been a top African oil producer, but whose citizens are among the world's poorest. Authorities have touted the positives. Nigerian politicians and lawmakers, often accused of corruption, are some of the best paid in Africa. Even the president's wife, her office nowhere in the Constitution, is entitled to SUVs and other luxuries funded by taxpayers. Nigeria's population, over 210 million people, Africa's largest, is also among the hungriest in the world, and its government has struggled to create jobs. Closer to home in your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Tuesday, your market movers, Bahamas First Holdings moving 33,000 shares, down 8 cents to $2. Bahamas Waste moving 100, unchanged at $11.06. Commonwealth Bank moving 176, closing at $5.08, unchanged. Colina Holdings moving 250, closing at $11.20, unchanged. Focall moving 250, closing unchanged at $5.11. Consolidated Water up 3 cents, closing to $5.70. Emira Incorporated up 15 cents, closing at $8.79. The BISX All-Share Index closing at 2,926.75, up 0.11. That's your Market Watch. And that is your morning business report brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. And we are back here with Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Chester Robards. All right, so let's talk about BPL. And this URCA report, I don't think anybody's surprised by anything that we're hearing there. In fact, I'm surprised actually the numbers not making a profit since, is it 2022? But I thought it would be maybe much earlier in the century. But okay.
Long time.
Right? Again, Chester Robards writing about this in today's Nassau Guardian. BPL fuel costs high due to Shell supply monopoly. That's in the main section of the Nassau Guardian today. URCA's report outlining the audit and performance and organizational maturity of Bahamas Power Light found that the power company's fuel costs are generally high because of the existing monopoly on fuel supply enjoyed by Shell, with a Shell licensee responsible for fuel delivery in the Family Islands. URCA's report adds that in terms of costs, BPL often runs its rental Agreco units as base load, which are more expensive to run than BPL's own engines. Wow. The audit contends. Why are you looking at me in a surprised way? Did you not write this, sir? Or is it just happening here?
It's a very interesting story.
You're so shocked by what Chester Robards is writing in today's paper that it is unbelievable. I agree with you. This is quite something. We're being fleeced. Is it fair to say? Perhaps.
The very interesting things, especially the fact that the last part you read about running the rental engines as base.
Yeah, insanity.
Because they do use, I think, a more expensive fuel as well. So
wild. What was your last bill like?
I wasn't too bad.
Oh, okay.
But listen, I am running around the house all day turning things off.
Yeah, exactly. It's insanity what's going on. The article continues. The audit contends that BPL does not have a least cost generation and system plan in place, though the report explains that there are opportunities for the power company to reduce its generation costs. The report says that fuel makes up more than half of BPL's operating expenditure, and more than half of our bills are going towards paying for fuel. Yeah. The report says fuel costs are mainly high due to Shell's monopoly on fuel provision. Shell has an effective monopoly on fuel supply, maintains a large fuel storage facility in Freeport through its sole licensed distributor, Focall, and a Shell licensee is contracted for the onward delivery of ADO to Family Islands. BPL's license requires BPL to establish and operate a merit order dispatch to provide the least cost generation capacity. Currently, dispatch is not fully based on a merit order because of constraints with HFO, heavy fuel oil, and the handling of this and the take or pay charges with independent power producers. BPL-owned units are cheaper to run, but are dispatched after the more expensive rental Agreco units. The Agreco units, with an average variable cost of 21 cents per kilowatt hour, run continuously as baseload. Wow. BPL and Bahamas Utility Company owned HFO units are cheaper, with the average variable cost between 12 cents and 15 cents per kilowatt hour. It says that BPL is considering options to eliminate the HFO, the heavy fuel oil fuel handling constraints. Considering. Okay. System operations using a new economic dispatch software to minimize the weighted average cost of generation. The audit also explained that BPL could improve its fuel controls on shipping to prevent losses by installing its own mass flow meters. It says that BPL currently relies on the shipper's delivery metering for fuel balance and performs independent checks by dipping. It says, of course, this report coming ahead of the government's preparing to ink a deal with Shell to provide the country with LNG, liquefied natural gas, and the government BPL attempting to finally move toward the use of cleaner fuel for electricity production.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. This conversation around fuel, this is very old, because there was a time when even a PLP minister was trying to get a new deal for clean. Was it cleaner fuel? Well, no, less expensive fuel.
Well, LNG as well, I believe it was.
Yeah, part of it was LNG.
Yeah.
but also to get fuel from Venezuela at some point.
Yeah.
So there was talk of LNG.
Probably wasn't going to end well, but definitely LNG might have been something that would have been beneficial to everybody.
Yeah.
Not
it was
from Venezuela.
At some point, it was too dangerous. Well, remember they wanted a bunkering facility somewhere that would have fed, I think, the Bahamas and Florida through pipelines.
A lot was proposed.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem far fetched now, even though it was kind of new then, kind of new.
Yeah.
But again, it's possible that we could have been in a better position.
Yeah, absolutely. But
again, how feasible is it that there's a company that has a monopoly on the fuel supply for the country, for the country's power? Like we're not. It's almost as if the report is suggesting that we're not looking for the best deal. We just have this deal.
Right. But I feel that way about almost everything. Here.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's good for certain people.
Right, of course.
It's wonderful for them.
Yeah.
But not for the majority.
Yeah.
And for a country that has a holiday even called Majority Rule Day, it's quite curious how we do things around here. But
also the fuel storage facility in Grand Bahama, I don't know the answer to this, but does BPL store its fuel there as well for New Providence?
I don't know. I guess that'll be part 2 of your story.
Yeah. Because if we're shipping fuel for New Providence as well, then costs obviously are a little higher for shipping from Grand Bahama.
Yeah. So this is in today's National Guardian, along with this story from Anthony Ferguson with Bahamas Grid Company Limited. He's a director. He's the CFAL president as well. And so he said on Guardian Radio's Z Live show this week with Javargo Lang that what's planned now, the reforms that the government's trying to do with BPL, that could result in energy costs being cut in half in 2 years. Ferguson said, quote, "The fact of the matter is that one way to begin to grow the economy is a sustainable way, and a sustainable way is by reducing the cost of doing business in the Bahamas. Electricity is one of the major challenges for both the man on the street and businesses in this country. We believe, based on everything that has been pronounced, and if all goes to plan, you can effectively reduce energy costs by as much as 50% over the next 24 months. The impact of that is about a 1 to 1.5% sustainable increase in the Bahamas' GDP just by the ability for the average person to now have extra free cash flow, businesses to have extra free cash flow that they can invest, hire more people, and then the circulation of that money supply would have a significant impact." Bahamas Grid Company Limited is a special purpose vehicle formed to work alongside BPL to undertake certain fundamental improvements for the electric transmission and distribution systems on New Providence and to operate and maintain the T&D system thereafter. Bahamas Grid Company will be 40% owned by BPL and 60% privately owned. For 40% of the company ownership, BPL and the government will contribute the existing New Providence T&D system, which BPL has assigned a value of approximately $100 million, along with its related facilities, properties, and equipment. That 60% private contribution will come from a mix of debt and equity investors funding the foundational upgrades, as well as the partnership raising the financing and leading the T&D upgrade and maintenance work, as we've heard. And as you know, the government entered a 25-year contract with U.S.-based Pike Corporation through its Bahamian management company, Island Grid Solutions, for the upgrade and management of the T&D network.
Yeah.
So,
there's a lot in that report, a lot more in that report on BPL, including some stories that I wrote that didn't run today.
So we can look for that tomorrow?
Yeah, I guess. Likely. Saying that this hope that we could reach 30% renewable penetration by 2030 is that's rough. That's looking rough.
Yeah, they don't have to be experts to tell you that. No. I mean, it's almost 2025.
But also that the staff told the company doing the audit that was a political thing and not something based on how BPL itself could move that to happen.
Yeah, we can believe that. But that was what all the countries around the world were saying.
Right.
That they were going to do that by 2030. Yeah. And so, in typical fashion, the Bahamas jumping right on that and saying, yes, we will too.
It's funny. I think at some point in the report, maybe the initial report had stated that BPL doesn't have a utility scale renewable energy plant, and then they came back and they were like, "Oh no, we do though, Ragged Island," and they were like, "Oh yeah, sorry, we forgot.
Wow,
that you have that."
Let's read these messages before we go to wrap up the show. This person says here, Anthony Ferguson says, we could reduce the cost of electricity by half within the next 2 years. I think everybody recognizes that Ferguson's expertise is, I think, what are they saying here? This isn't his field, I guess they're trying to say, but could, in quotation marks, right? What does that mean? The texter continues, I am tired of the loose carrot waving pronouncements that the Bahamian people are constantly asked to hold on to with unbreakable faith. What are the indicators, the leading ones? They have a whole plan, so they must know what are the concrete things we need to see outside of the cost itself in the first month, second month, third month, 10th month, etc. That would signal that things are going in the right direction for a 50% cost reduction by July 2026. Because we won't just wake up on July 31st, 2026 and declare it's a miracle. Electricity rates were cut in half overnight. We need to ban all carrots. Okay, serious text. This person says here.
The report also says that BPL needs to work on actual KPIs, key performance indicators, because they've not been good at that.
Yeah, we can tell. This person says, I'm all for 2 years of bills. What's happening? 2 years, bills cut in half. That means Bahamians brace yourself for the next 24 months of unbearable light bills. No, it doesn't mean that. But perhaps nothing too exactly meaningful before that time. Or that will be a very gradual decline, like the previous texter was asking if that's what that means. Yeah. But we've heard... We heard the minister say, the one thing she said is that right after this month with your next bill, some people will begin to see a slight decrease.
Yeah.
So we will see what that means. This is going to be a long road.
Mm-hmm.
A long road. But Chester, keep up the good work and keep us posted. on what's going on here. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here this morning.
Pleasure.
I'll see you next week.
Next week.
And I'll be back tomorrow morning with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan. Have a great day, everybody. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green coming up next.
Wake up, it's a new day.